Machiavelli did not write for men who wanted to be admired. He wrote for men who wanted to win. Not to appear virtuous, not to be liked, to win. And if he were alive today, he wouldn't be talking about fairy tales, soulmates, or endless reassurance. He would be talking about leverage. Because attraction is not sustained by love alone. It is shaped by emotional positioning. There are patterns that repeat inside modern relationships with mathematical precision. 11 of them. They decide who invests more, who chases, who waits for replies, and who becomes impossible to replace. Weakness number 10 can shift a dynamic instantly. Weakness number 11 determines whether respect lasts or disappears quietly. If you leave early, you'll understand fragments. But fragments don't create power. Understanding the full structure does. In every relationship, there is a silent balance of dependence. The one who needs the connection less holds more emotional control. This is not about cruelty, it is about dynamics. When you over-explain, over-validate, over-adjust, you signal urgency, and urgency lowers perceived value. Predictability feels safe, but it rarely feels exciting. Over-availability feels generous, but it slowly erodes tension. The moment someone senses they already have you secured, investment begins to drop. Not out of malice, but out of human nature. Desire thrives where there is choice, not certainty. And once you understand this foundation, the 11 patterns that follow stop looking mysterious. They start looking predictable. One of the most visible patterns in attraction is the need for external validation. It rarely appears directly. It shows up as small questions. Did you like it? Are we okay? Why are you quiet? These are not requests for information. They are micro-tests for attention. The average man reacts instantly. He reassures, compliments, overpraises. But automatic validation has no weight. When approval is always available, it stops feeling earned. Selective validation changes the dynamic. Not coldness, not silence, precision. When praise is intentional and measured, it carries gravity. Scarcity increases value. Free praise becomes background noise. Measured praise becomes signal. And when you give validation without filtering it, you quietly lower your own leverage. The human mind dislikes emptiness. It wants clarity, reassurance, predictability. But attraction often grows in tension, not certainty. When everything is guaranteed, constant replies, full explanations, predictable routines, desire slowly cools. Predictability feels safe, but safety without tension becomes comfort, and comfort rarely drives pursuit. Grounded unpredictability is different from childish games. It isn't disappearing to provoke reaction. It is having a life that doesn't revolve around constant reassurance. It is replying when you are free, not when you feel pressured. There is a small sign that reveals when predictability has already lowered your position. Most men miss it, and by the time they see it, the dynamic has already shifted. Many men believe listening is enough. It isn't. Listening hears words. Leadership reads emotion. When you reflect what she feels, naming it calmly and precisely, you create depth. She feels understood without having to over-explain. That builds connection. But here is where many lose position. The moment she opens up, they over-merge. They become too available, too emotional, too eager to prove closeness. Connection turns into surrender, and surrender shifts perception. There is no argument, no dramatic event, just a quiet internal downgrade. She stops seeing you as grounded and starts seeing you as absorbed. The invisible line is crossed, not through weakness, but through excess. Energy changes. One day she is warm, the next she is distant. These moments are tests of emotional center. The anxious man reacts immediately. He asks what changed. He adjusts his tone. He explains himself. He chases reassurance. Without realizing it, he hands over control of his emotional state. The centered man notices the shift, but does not collapse into it. He maintains rhythm. He does not punish with silence or dramatize the distance. He stays steady. Non-reactivity communicates something powerful. Your mood does not control my stability. And stability, when felt consistently, installs quiet respect. Attraction is not tested on calm days. It is tested in chaos. Arguments, stress, emotional spikes. This is where dynamics are exposed. When emotion rises, the insecure man rises with it. He matches intensity. He argues, defends, escalates. And in doing so, he becomes part of the instability. Containment is different. It is slower speech, fewer words, a calm boundary delivered without anger. You do not suppress emotion, you regulate it. When your presence remains steady under pressure, instinctive trust forms. Not because you control her, but because you do not lose yourself. If you value clarity over comfort, this channel exists for that. Status is rarely declared. It is observed. People read presence before they hear words. Tone, posture, eye contact, economy of speech. These signals shape perception. Forced dominance feels loud and defensive. Real status feels calm and unbothered. The man who occupies space naturally does not compete for attention or over-explain his position. Attraction reorganizes around perceived stability. When others respond to you with respect, when you handle interruptions without shrinking or exploding, something registers. Social proof reinforces value, not through arrogance, but through quiet coherence. And quiet coherence speaks louder than performance. When comfort increases, evaluation changes. Words are no longer enough. Actions are measured. If she says honesty matters, but arrives late without notice, if she claims she hates games, but withdraws without explanation, the contradiction is visible. Most men notice it and stay silent. They fear tension. They fear losing momentum, so they swallow it. Standards are not defended with anger. They are reinforced with calm clarity. You said this mattered to you. That's why this caught my attention. Nothing more. No accusation. No drama. When you point out inconsistency without emotional charge, you communicate awareness. Awareness installs respect. Silence in the face of contradiction installs the opposite. And this is where the boundary moment begins to approach. Drifting kills attraction quietly. When a man constantly adapts, seeks permission, or changes direction based on approval, he places the emotional weight on her. Attraction weakens when she feels she must guide. Direction is not control. It is internal leadership, calm decisions, clear priorities, movement without constant explanation. When you know where you are going, you do not ask to be pulled forward. You move. Whoever aligns walks beside you. Whoever does not falls behind. That subtle difference changes leverage more than any technique ever could. Security that sustains attraction is not built on constant access. It is built on consistent choice. When you are always available, always adjusting, always accepting last-minute changes, you teach that your time carries no weight. Balanced availability means you are present, but not automatic. You respond because you choose to, not because you fear losing connection. Scarcity returns here. When your rhythm remains intact and your standards remain visible, something subtle happens. She begins to measure what it would mean to lose you. Not dramatically, quietly. And quiet measurement is where real investment begins. Eventually, a line is crossed. Sometimes it is small, a dismissive joke, repeated disrespect, subtle manipulation. This is the defining moment. The average man negotiates. He explains for hours, trying to restore harmony. Or he explodes, then apologizes. Both reactions weaken position. The high-status man does something different. He lowers his tone. He stays calm. He says little, and he acts. This doesn't work for me. I don't stay in dynamics like this. I wish you the best. No debate, no justification, no drama. Respect is not argued, it is exercised. This is where dynamics permanently reorder. Integrity is the silent foundation beneath everything. Without it, every technique becomes performance. You can speak about standards and still tolerate disrespect. You can talk about calm and still collapse under pressure. Women sense coherence without needing proof. When your actions align with your identity, even when no one is watching, respect stabilizes. Attraction may fluctuate, emotion may rise and fall, but respect, once installed through integrity, sustains far longer than excitement ever could. This was never about controlling anyone. It was about refusing to lose yourself. When you stop betraying your own standards, you stop being replaceable. If you value strength built on clarity, subscribe, and ask yourself honestly, which weakness have you been ignoring?